After many years, I have finally decided it is time for me to post this somewhere. I have been seeing a therapist for over half my life, but I figured getting anything and everything out in the open will maybe do some good. I have been on Reddit for quite some while, and I think it is time I add my story to Black Hole Revenge. I do not regret any actions, nor would I take them back. I still feel guilty and dream of it often. When I was 12, my father hit me. It was the first time he hit me, but it was not the last. He abused me, my mother, and my brother frequently. He was addicted to pills after a bad car wreck and addicted to alcohol. He apparently hit my mother a few times before I was 12. Over the years, the hitting became more and more frequent until I turned 16. My mom finally had enough of me, my little brother and her being his personal abuse package, and we moved away. We waited and left with no trace. No phones, no social media, nothing. No one knew except our neighbor Tim, who helped us pack and left the heavy stuff. Ever since then, I have started going by my middle name, and we shortened our last name X. Adamson now is Adams. It was hard, 2 boys and 1 mom. It was hard for us to feel safe. Eventually, everything turned out fine, depending on your definition. We eventually all got jobs and secured a small 2-bedroom apartment. My younger brother ended up falling in love and wanted to marry this girl. He never told her all the details, but enough for her to know shit happened, just not everything. Somehow, my aunt found out about the wedding. This was my dad's sister. My guess is my brother's fiance's family posted something and she saw it. I do not blame my aunt. No one knew about my dad, and after the incident we learned he said she left with another guy, and my dad, being the 2 months before the wedding, he found us and beat my brother so bad the wedding had to be called off. We reported it to the police, and nothing happened. He got questioned, interviewed, whatever. Yet served no jail time. He also broke into my mother's house, but thankfully she was not there, or else she may no longer be with us. When beating my brother, he talked about how insulting it was we left, and my mom turned us against him, and how embarrassed he was of us. Years of therapy gone, my brother and my mother are once again back. Before we left, I as well. My brother's fiance is scared, and her parents want her to call it off. This isn't a tough guy. Something snapped, or I decided he would pay. Moment. I was afraid I was next. I wasn't trying to get revenge, I wanted safety. I remember that I almost pissed myself hearing he knew where we were. We moved a city over. We got temporary housing from a church-led foundation. We also got a restraining order from him from a lawyer the church helped provide. I got a job at the graveyard shift at a local fast food restaurant, and my brother and his fiance took a hiatus for her safety, his decision. I also purchased my first firearm, that was legal. I joined Facebook, with my real actual name. Friended a couple of people that I knew from my hometown. Eventually my Facebook would get back to him, and sure enough it did. He messaged me one night while I was at work, and I stared at it for a solid 3 minutes before my manager told me to put my phone away. Once on break, I went in the cold freezer and cried and cried and cried. I never messaged him back at all. After work, I went to the local park and posted a photo of the pond, fountain. I had been doing this previous nights as well, usually within a 30-minute time frame. The next night, same thing again, but with the name of the park sign in the background. Every night for about a week I walked through that park and around it waiting on him. Each night that I walked, my hand was on the trigger. One night I was walking, and after passing the parking lot, I heard someone walking behind me. Never, in my life, have I ever felt so scared. I could barely hear the footsteps over my heart beating. I turned around and saw my father. My ears began ringing. I had shot him. I had closed my eyes, so I was unsure if I even was aiming for him. He never got a word out, and now I am safe. I did get arrested. I did spend some time in jail. It was ultimately ruled self-defense, but I carried without a permit. So I had to go to jail for a few months and pay a fine. I got out of doing half the jail and the fine by doing community service and attending a class. What I told the police was different than what really happened. My father began yelling at me. Told me he tracked me down using Facebook and that he was going to kill me. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Reddit Diaries. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories from the depths of the internet. And remember, there's always something new to discover on Reddit. See you next time.